morning, children. Now we are here with financial markets session, and I'll be requesting Nameet ma'am to begin the session, please. Nameet ma'am.
Thank you so much, Kavita ma'am. Well, I'm actually overwhelmed that I am serving CTF and serving for the true purpose of CTF, and even overwhelmed with the participation of the students, that they have so much of zeal to learn and to express themselves in Q&A box also. So students will be waiting for your queries in Q&A box also. So before we start, let me share the screen, please. So students, we'll be discussing this chapter 10, financial markets. This is one such chapter which is part of the unit financial management, one part of unit financial management and financial markets. And this unit has a weightage of 15 marks. So we can expect minimum of 5 to 6 mark questions from this chapter. Though we have, through interacting with different students, we have seen that the students find this chapter a little difficult, but with many factual information which we'll be sharing, some practical information we'll be sharing, I hope we'll be making this chapter an easy piece of cake. So in this session, we'll be covering the following topics. We'll be covering the different concepts of the chapter, how we can crack the different case studies, as we'll be discussing case studies at the end of each and every topic. Google form and feedback form will also be given in the chat box, and there will be a link so that you can also assess yourself. The following topics of financial markets are, we'll be discussing the types of financial markets, its functions, various money market instruments, various types of flotation methods by different companies. Very important topic, that is why it's written in caps. Online trading procedure, depository and demat account. Then we'll be discussing the functions of stock exchange.
Ma'am, your screen is not visible. Ma'am, Nameet, ma'am, your screen is not visible.
Okay,
yes,
sir.
now it is visible. Now
it is visible now. It is visible now, ma'am. Yeah.
Okay, ma'am.
Ma'am, I request you to show the previous slides also to the students, please. Yeah.
Now this is not visible.
Okay, sir. Now it's visible?
No. Yes, it
now it is visible. Visible, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So in this session, we'll be covering the topics. We'll be discussing various concepts, the tips to crack the case studies, as we'll be discussing the case studies at the end of each and every topic. We'll be also sharing a Google form and the feedback form on the chat box where you can also assess yourself. The various topics of this chapter are the types of financial markets, various money market instruments, the methods of flotation techniques by the company. Two very important topics, that's why we have written in caps: online trading procedure, depository and demat account, the functions of stock exchange, and the functions of SEBI. Yes, a very important part. And we get this pleasure also that these are the following topics of NCERT, which are given in NCERT, but they are not part of the curriculum: National Stock Exchange, objectives of NSE, market segments, OTCI, that is the over-counter exchange of India, its advantages, and the organizational structure of SEBI. These topics have been deleted by CBSE, but they're still shown in NCERT. Now, we are going to start with the chapter financial markets. Now, children, what exactly do we mean by the market? Market, we have heard of various very famous markets like Sarojini Market, Janpat Market, CP Market, and there are many famous markets in your cities as well. Market is a place where the buyers and sellers, they meet and exchange goods and services for money. This is the meaning of the market where there is exchange of goods and services. But what do we mean by financial markets? Financial markets is a place where both buyers and sellers meet for the exchange of financial securities. Here the term is financial securities, not goods and services. Now, what are financial securities? We have covered in class 11. They are equity shares, debentures, preference shares. All these come under financial securities. But there is much more than that, the financial securities, which we'll be discussing in the chapter. What is the purpose of a market? A market helps in the exchange of goods and services. Similarly, in case of financial markets, it helps in allocation of funds. Allocation of funds from whom to whom? That we'll discuss in the next slide. It helps in allocation of funds from the households who are also known as the savers. Savers means who have surplus funds with them. And it is allocated to the investors or the users who have deficit funds or who are in need of funds. So we can say that savers are the surplus units and the users are the deficit units. Now, how this process takes place? This process takes place with the help of financial markets. And who are the middlemen who help in the smooth functioning of the process? Well, the middlemen are known as financial intermediaries. And the whole process is known as financial intermediation. Now, who all are the intermediaries? There are two intermediaries, either banks, where we deposit the money in the bank account and they lend it in the form of loans. Or there are financial markets, which we are going to study in the further slides, where we invest money in the market and then they are given further to the deficit unit. So banks and the financial markets are competing intermediaries. There are two intermediaries, so they compete with each other.
So Nameet ma'am, excuse me, sorry to interrupt you. Can we say that investors are the business firms or the companies which are basically investing money and then earning some return, and through the financial markets, then households or the savers are getting the return out of it? Can we say like that?
Ma'am. Yes, ma'am, we can say, because we can see that the arrow is moving from household to investors, and again an arrow comes back from the investors or the users to the households. Because since households are investing money, they are expecting certain return out of it. And this return may be either in the form of interest, dividend. That is why this blue arrow shows a return given by the investors or the users to the savers. So I hope I've solved your query, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you so much. I'll keep on disturbing you throughout the session.
Yes, ma'am. Please, this would benefit our students as well. Okay, so now we can summarize that this whole process in financial markets is known as financial intermediation, where the competing intermediaries are banks and financial markets, and the purpose served by financial market is allocation of funds. Let's move on to the next slide, that is functions of financial markets. And as every student waits for, ma'am, we need acronym to remember every point, step. So we'll be discussing all the acronyms over here. So the mnemonic for such functions of financial markets is, my face is purely ravishing.
Oh my God, oh my God,
Yes,
Nameet ma'am, yes, so
I've
indirectly
tried to
you
make
wanted
it
to
in
get
this way.
compliments. Yo, I can understand.
Thank you, ma'am.
So I agree, your face is purely ravishing.
Thank you, ma'am. And even students would be able to remember, especially girls. Okay. My face is purely ravishing, where I've taken the first letter of each word. My, M. So we have the functions in front of us: mobilization of savings and channelizing them into most productive use. F stands for facilitates price discovery. P is for providing liquidity to financial assets. And R stands for reducing the cost of transactions. Let's discuss each and every function one by one. mobilization of savings and channelizing them into most productive use. Now, students, before I explain this certain point, I'll just give you an example. My mother gave me 100 rupees uh, for an emergency fund when I was not married, say 15 years back. So she gave me 100 rupees when I was going to college, and she said, you keep it as an emergency where you can use if you are a shortage of funds. I had put it in my emergency pocket. I was just looking at my wallet and I saw this 100 rupees now. Does that 100 rupee value at that time, that is 15 years ago, carry the same value after 15 years? No, because due to the inflation rate, the value of rupee decreases. It would have been better if I would have invested that surplus funds and earned interest out of it. It would have appreciated. So same goes with this. Functions of financial market, the first function is the savings or the idle or the surplus funds you have. Why not put it in some productive use so that you are able to earn, appreciate your capital, earn interest out of it. So this helps in the movement of savings and putting it into some productive use. So this is my first my. The second phase facilitates price discovery. Now, students, you all know the fundamental of demand and supply. How price is calculated. It is calculated with the forces of demand and supply. As demand increases and supply is less, the price rises, and vice versa. As supply is more and demand is less, the price decreases. So whatever is the value of our investment, we can know through the forces of demand and supply. So financial market helps us to know, it helps us to evaluate what is the price of my current investment. And those who want to invest, those who are potential investors, they would seek the price to know whether if they would invest in this particular financial security, it would rise or it would decrease through proper analysis. So it helps in evaluation of your current and future investments so that we can appreciate our capital. Third.
Here, ma'am, Nameet, ma'am, sorry to disturb you again. But in the previous slide, I would like to add that facilitating price discovery through financial markets, when the correct valuation of pricing is being done, such correct valuation of prices is extremely important for the investors because they are able to know the real market value of their investment, and such market valuation is also important for the companies, the shareholders, and the other stakeholders who are attached with the companies, so that they know what is the worth of the company as of now. Am I right, ma'am?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you, ma'am.
Perfectly right. So let's come to the third point, purely, that is providing liquidity to financial assets. Now, students, we have heard of many investments like fixed deposit, property investment. Now, when we consider the liquidity, that is easily converting them into cash, they are not such liquid. If we break our FD, we would be foregoing our interest. If we want to go and sell property because we are in need of funds, it would take a lot of time, a lot of documentation work. But in case of financial markets, this is not a problem because it provides easy liquidity and marketability to your financial assets, where you can easily sell and purchase financial assets. If you're in need of money, you can easily go and sell your assets. And if you have surplus money, you can easily go and purchase the financial assets. So it provides quite a good amount of liquidity to your financial assets as compared to the long-term investments. And ravishing, reduce the cost of transactions. Here I would like to quote an example. I prefer, when I go for a movie, I prefer to ask for the reviews from my friends, read newspaper ratings, go through the critics, and then only decide that whether I want to go for that particular movie or not. so that I save my money. Same goes with the investors or those who want to invest money in the financial markets. They go through the various news, they go through the various information which is given by reading the newspapers, by looking at the news, TV news, so that they could save their time and effort and can make a wise decision. And this all news and everything is provided by the financial market. So it helps us indirectly to take a wise decision so that we are not putting our money in a wasteful activity. So it helps in reducing the cost of transaction as well. And in fact, when you invest in the financial market, you have to approach a broker. This thing will be covering in the later slides as well. We approach a broker, and broker charges a nominal commission for even providing you regular tips, whether you should invest in such particular asset or not. So here we go with the functions of financial market. So Kavita ma'am, now it's your turn to assess the students with different case studies.
Thank you so much, Namit ma'am. That was awesome explanation from your side. But dear students, please do remember, along with content understanding, you must practice various questions and case studies also to prepare thoroughly for your exams. So business studies equally has become a practical subject these days, and you need to practice case studies so that you are able to crack them very nicely and perfectly in the exam time. So let's move ahead. First of all, we are going to have the first question, which will be objective type question, OTQ. Okay, you can have OTQs in the form of true, false, or in the form of one-word answers, fill-ups, or you can have in the form of MCQs also. So let's see what Namit ma'am has in store for us. Yeah, so the first question, that's first category, true, false. So that's a very easy question. I request all the students to quickly answer in QA box. Oh my God, it's flooding. Already I got 10 answers. Financial market provides liquidity to financial assets, true or false? Needless to say, it's really worthy that everybody knows that it's true, that you just explained now, that financial markets are ready markets, and certainly they are providing liquidity to financial assets as the investors can get their investments or securities and cash easily. Let's move on to the next question. Get ready, guys. Yeah, this is the case study, the first case study that we are going to discuss. Here we have, now let me tell you students that before you read the, start reading the question from the above side, a bank named, please focus on the question statements first. First, you should begin with reading from this side, that is identify the process performed by the bank and stock exchange. So you have to think of some process which is being performed by bank and stock exchange both. Well, that gives you an idea that this question pertains to financial markets, because in no other chapter, neither in first book nor in second book, we talk about banks and stock exchanges together. Then I'll briefly describe the functions performed by financial markets. Well, the second part can be answered without reading the case also, because it's a direct question. Functions performed by financial markets in the terminology of Namit ma'am, her face is purely ravishing. I mean, my face is purely ravishing. So those 4 points, you know. Then let's move on to the case first in order to first confirm that what is that process that we are talking about. So let's read the case. A bank named Dhan Sangraha Karta allows Kapoor family to deposit their money time and again in it. It gives a definite return to this family, which is in the form of interest. Nearby, there is a stock exchange. Mr. Raj Kapoor. Well, here I would like to tell you one thing, students. Please do not get distracted by names like Raj Kapoor, Dhan Sangraha Karta. These things are actually incorporated in case studies to check how much you are able to concentrate or focus on the question only. So focus on the question, concentrate on the question, and do not get distracted by such names or such, maybe some eatables or foods names are there. So do not get distracted. Focus on what is being asked in the question and try to look for that only. So let's continue reading. Nearby, there is a stock exchange. Mr. Raj Kapoor, who is the head of the family, goes there and buys securities. He says that in this way, more return is being earned by him. on his saved money, so the risk is also there. So I can find that there are answers in QA box. Around 45 question answers are there in QA box. And yes, that's right. The process which is being performed is allocative function, or we can say financial intermediation, or even we can say mobilization of savings and channelizing them into more productive uses. Okay, because financial intermediation means that a process whereby the funds are being allocated from savers to investors. Hope that's clear to everyone, and we all agree that my face is purely ravishing. Thank you so much, and let's move ahead. Nameet ma'am, let's move ahead and discuss the next topic now.
Thank you so much, Kavita ma'am. It was very well explained case study. So next topic is the types of financial markets which we have to cover in this whole chapter. We can divide a financial market into two types, capital market and money market. Capital markets are the long-term securities governed by SEBI, and the money market are the short-term instruments or securities which are governed by RBI. Capital market is further divided into two, primary market and secondary market. Primary market is also known as new securities market, and secondary market is also known as second-hand market, where existing securities transactions take place. So we'll be discussing each and every type of market one by one. Let's start with money market. Now, money means paisa, jaldi jaldi. We want jaldi money. Why we want money jaldi? Because we are not sure whether our money will be invested in right manner or not. So these money market instruments are very short-term funds which deal in those monetary assets whose maturity period is only up to 1 year. They are very, very liquid and short-term funds where the maturity period is only up to 1 year. So let's discuss the features. Well, we have already discussed the duration. It deals in the securities which has a maturity period of 1 year only. Now, who all are the participants of money market? The various participants of money market are RBI, which governs money markets, the banks, which come under RBI. Then there are also NBFCs, non-banking financial companies, financial institutions, government, various big companies, mutual funds. Here, I would like to quote that individuals can also participate in money market, but they generally don't do. The reason is the third point is the investment outlay. Since it involves huge and instruments are quite expensive, that is why individuals refrain themselves from investing in money market instruments. They are highly liquid as they mature within 1 year. Plus, they are also, the whole arrangement is looked after Discount Finance House of India, DFHI. So that is why they are less risk, and they are of less risk because of highly reputed participants. That is why it is very less riskier money market instrument. Now we are going to discuss the various money market instruments and the acronym or the mnemonic for this. Take care 4 times. Take T and scare C 4 times. That means in case of COVID, you have to take care 4 times. Sanitize your hands, sanitize things, wash your hands, maintain social distancing, and wear masks. So,
great, ma'am. That's great. You are actually doing social service here and reminding students that apart from studying, we have to ensure our safety too. Yes, thank you very much, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. So, students, you have to make sure that you take care 4 times of yourself so that we can give our board exams. So, these are the types of money market instruments: treasury bill, commercial paper, call money, certificate of deposit, and commercial bill. Let's come to the first part, that is treasury bill. Treasury bill is actually issued by RBI. You can see before the arrow, issued by RBI to the investor. Investor means any participant which we have discussed in the money market features. Now, how to remember this treasury bill issued by RBI? Where is the treasurer of India lying with? It is lying with RBI. So RBI issues it. It issues to the different participants of money market instruments. They are issued on behalf of the government. They are also known as zero coupon bonds. Now, what do we mean by zero coupon bonds? Here, zero means no interest. Now, why no interest? Because interest is already deducted beforehand before investing. I'll give you an example. Suppose I want to invest rupees 1 lakh in treasury bills and the rate of interest is 10%. So after 1 year, I'll be getting 1 lakh as principal amount and 10,000 as my interest. Why not I invest 90,000 and deduct my interest beforehand? This will be known as zero coupon bonds, which is interest, deducted interest. So that is why they are known as zero coupon bonds. And they are issued at a minimum amount of rupees 25,000 and the multiples. That means one value of treasury bill will be 25,000. If we buy two, then it would be 50,000, 75,000, and so on. They are freely transferable, negotiable. That means it's a bearer document. You can easily transfer to anyone. It does not contain the name. They are issued at a price lower than the face value. That is the discount. Interest is deducted beforehand and repaid at par. That is, we receive the principal amount during the maturity time. And the time period of treasury bill. Students, this can be asked as an OTQ. It is from 14 to 364 days. So you need to memorize it. So these are the features of treasury bills. Let's move on to the next feature. It is commercial paper. Now, another short way of remembering, commercial. Wherever the commercial comes, it means company to company. The dealing is between company to company. Commercial means corporate, corporate means company. So commercial paper here means company to company. Now, why company issues commercial paper to another company? A company might be facing tight liquidity, or it needs funds to meet its working capital requirements or to meet its flotation costs. So here we say when a company requires funds to meet its short-term liquidity or short-term requirements, then it can ask for a type of loan from the another company, and the another company would issue in the form of commercial paper. It would provide funds in the form of commercial paper. So they are short-term, unsecured, and freely transferable commercial paper securities. They are issued by large and credit-worthy companies. Only companies of high repute, high value, good goodwill, good reputation can actually raise funds through this short-term, through this commercial paper. Similarly, there are also zero coupon types, like they are sold at discount and redeemed at par. The maturity period here is a change. It ranges from 15 days to 1 year. This is given as per your NCERT, that it ranges from 15 days to 1 year. As per the new RBI guidelines, the 15 days range has been decreased to 7 days. So now it ranges from 7 days to 1 year. So I would suggest students, if this type of question comes, you should write both the NCERT part, that is 15 days to 1 year, as well as the new guidelines, that is 7 days to 1 year, so that you can impress the examiner. And the purpose of raising funds to commercial paper is to meet the short-term requirement of funds such as flotation cost, working capital, and seasonal requirements. So this is the commercial paper. Let's move on to the third money market instrument, that is call money. Call means over the phone. So a bank, when a bank needs funds, it would ask from the another bank to provide the funds. This is known as call money because this is all done over the phone call. But why would a bank need funds? Well, there's a reason behind it. The reason is cash reserve ratio. Now, students, we all know cash reserve ratio is a ratio which is given by RBI, an instruction given by RBI to all the banks that they have to deposit certain amount of money with RBI every day. Now, what if a bank falls short of this certain amount of deposit? It is not able to meet its cash reserve ratio. Then in that case, it may ask or it may borrow certain funds from the another bank. This is over the phone call, which is known as call money. and the interest rate paid by the borrowing bank to the lending bank will be known as call rate. The maturity period is quite small in this case. It ranges from even 1 day, that is 24 hours, to 15 days, as it's an interbank transaction. So this is known as call
Nameed
money.
ma'am, sorry to disturb
Yes,
you. Can you please throw on light that what is the interest rate? That is the call rate. Does it remain fixed every time?
No, ma'am, it varies every day because RBI issues guidelines regarding this. The repo rate, the CRR, the SLR rate, it varies every time. The
So I think,
RBI keeps on changing.
Okay.
RBI keeps on changing, yes.
Okay. Does it also depend upon the demand and supply of funds from
Yes.
the banks?
Yes,
Okay.
ma'am. It
So
all
we can
depends on
say
the
that-
demand and supply forces.
So we can say that call rate fluctuates widely. I mean, maybe from hour to hour basis also, depending upon the demand.
Yes, ma'am. Perfect. Right. You are right that it fluctuates every hour, every day. We can say, and RBI issues guidelines to bank to deposit the required amount with them,
Well, thank
depending
you,
on
ma'am.
the demand and supply of money.
Thank you so
Yes,
much, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am. Next is certificate of deposit. It is COD, or we can say it's the same like an FD. We have surplus funds. We can go to the bank and deposit for certain period of time and deposit with the bank for a fixed period of time known as FD. But FD are for a longer period of time as well. But since we are doing money market instruments, which are short-term instruments, certificate of deposit are short-term instruments which are issued by banks, a type of loan given to the companies for meeting their tight liquidity or if they are in short of funds. So banks have surplus money and they can give loans for short period of time to the various corporate houses. And this is done by the companies. Why companies want it? So that they can meet their short-term fund requirements. The time period ranges from 91 days to 1 year. We have now observed that all the money market instruments actually vary till 1 year because their period of maturity is up to 1 year only. The next one is commercial bill. And as I explained earlier, commercial means company to company. This is the way to remember. And this bill, the concept you have done in your class 11, bills of exchange. What is bills of exchange? Where the person who is the drawer, who actually sells the good on credit. He sells the goods on credit. So he draws a bill that I have to take certain amount of money after certain period of time. So this is also a money market instrument. And the drawer has the facility to get the bill discounted from the bank or also endorse it. So that is why it is negotiable as well. And after a particular period of time, when the time period matures, it becomes self-liquidating. That means the maturity period comes and the person, the drawee, has to return the money. So only when there is credit purchase and sale of goods, then we use commercial bills. So these are the 5 money market instruments. So now you can see a table where it's a recapitulation of all the 5 types of instruments. We'll be sharing this video in the YouTube channel. You can also take a screenshot where you memorize everything in one table. It is also useful in the case of difference, when a difference between 2 money market instruments is being asked. So you can always write the basis and differentiate between 2 money market instruments. So the bases are issued by and to whom it is issued, what is the maturity period of each and every instrument, what is the minimum amount, the purpose for which such money market instrument is issued, and the other features which we have discussed in our previous slides. So Kavita ma'am, over to you for discussion of the case studies related to this topic.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Your previous slide of recapitulation was really very great. I'm very sure before you're asking, most of the students must have taken the screenshot earlier only. So, well, it's time to test your own knowledge. That is research, analyze, and try to find out the answers to various questions which can come in your CBSE exam. Let's move ahead with the first question. The first question is OTQ2, that is objective type question. So here for objective type questions, students are so eager to answer. Let's have the question on the screen, ma'am. Yeah, again, here the options are there. Which of the following statements is not true about treasury bill? So remember, not true. Here, Nameet ma'am has written it in red and in caps, but in exams, it might be in the running form, in the same font. So be very specific, be very clear about whether it is asked as true or not true. Such no word or not words are very important and they might change your answer altogether. So let's have the options here. First one, these are issued by RBI on behalf of central government. These are issued in the form of promissory notes. Yeah. These are highly liquid and have a short yield. Okay. And these are issued at a price higher than their face value and repaid at par. Students, come on, you can answer it as A, B, C, or D. Oh my God, it was 50 chat, 50 answers there. And oh my God, it's 80, 85, 84, 87. Oh my God, everybody has answered, and many students, around 12 students, have already raised hand and they all know the answer. Oh, it has reached up to 95. So the answer is yes. These are issued at a price higher than their face value and repaid at par. Students really enjoy doing OTQs. Yeah. Let's move ahead with the next question. Students are still answering. Oh my God. Another OTQ for you, students. Yes, again, a negative question. See, such questions are called as negative questions where you have to find out which of the following is not a money market instrument. So out of the 4 options, 3 will be money market instruments and 1 will not be there. So let's have the options here on the screen. Yeah. Treasury bill, commercial paper, public deposits, and certificate of deposits. Well, this is easier than all the other questions that we have asked. Yes. Come on, see, the number is going like anything. Answer is public deposits. 3 cheers for all the students who answered it correctly. Wow, great. Let's move ahead now.
Kavita ma'am,
Yes,
I just
please.
want to ask something. Ma'am, if the answer is public deposits, it's okay, where the students have done it quite well by writing the right answer.
Yeah.
Should we give the explanation that the public deposit is not a money market instrument? Why? Should we mention this?
I think in this case, because the correct option is already given, there's no need to mention. But in case there is a true-false kind of question and answer is true, then it would be okay. But if it is answer is false, in such true-false questions, it must be there. To be on safer side, one must correct that particular statement. Okay. So whenever there is a question with true-false answer, and false is the answer, and when you are writing that, okay, the statement is false, it would be always better to correct that statement as to what part of it was false. Okay, so that will ensure and rather that will tell to the examiner that you very well understand that what aspect of that statement is false and what is the correct one. Let's move ahead with the next question. Thank you so much, ma'am. Yeah. Yes, again, we have a case study, and again, I will be reading the case study from the question side first, because at times what happens when we read all parts of the questions, we are able to get hint to what is the answer without reading the case also. So around 50 to 80% surety we can get with the correct answer from the questions only, and then we can read the case to confirm our answer. Let's move ahead with the first part. Which financial asset is indicated in the above case? Well, this particular part doesn't give any idea. Second part, on whose behalf does the RBI issue this instrument? Students, please understand that by reading part number 2, I am able to get a great hint that I'm talking about a security which is issued by RBI. And out of all the money market securities which are there in syllabus, which Nameet ma'am has just discussed so nicely, there was only one which was being issued by RBI. So you get the hint to the first part of the question without reading the case. But does that mean you are not supposed to read the case? No. To confirm and cross-check your answer, you must go through the case study also. Third part is that why is the instrument called as zero coupon bond? Now, third part gives again the confirmation to that particular correct answer. Students are already answering. I've not read the case. I've not read all the parts of the question. They are still answering. What is the minimum amount for which the instrument is availed? So let me quickly go through the case, because already I'm getting so many answers. R Bank Limited buys a financial asset from the RBI. This financial asset is an instrument of short-term borrowing. He has bought it because he doesn't want to take risk and wants an assured return. This instrument is a promissory note. It is highly liquid, and this instrument is called as zero coupon bond. So which financial asset? Without wasting any time, I have the answer. That's treasury bill. On whose behalf does the RBI issue this instrument? Of course, on behalf of Government of India. Why is this instrument called a zero coupon bond? Zero here refers to the rate of interest. There is no interest being given, zero interest being given, rather it is being issued at discount and redeemed at par. Okay, and the minimum amount you all know, that is rupees 25,000. So let's have the answers on the screen, ma'am. Yeah, the answers already discussed. Treasury bill on behalf of Government of India, zero coupon bond because zero interest, issued at discount, redeemed at par, and 25,000 is the minimum amount. Any more questions, ma'am?
Yes, ma'am. We have questions as well.
Okay.
For the questions for students to test. Yes.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
This is
Okay. Yeah. Next case study. Yeah, ma'am. Want to say anything? Okay.
no, ma'am. Please.
Okay.
Yeah,
Thank
no,
you so
ma'am,
much.
please.
Thank you so much, ma'am. So first reading the questions. That is, which financial instrument is indicated in the above case? Which type of instrument it is? How has this method helped the company? Name any other instrument of the same category which is issued at discount and redeemed at par. Well, dear children, here I would like to tell you one thing. In the previous case study, right from the second part of the question, we were able to get the hint as to what is the answer. Here, by reading part number 1, part number 2, part number 3, we haven't got any hint at all. But part number 4 gives a very little hint that name any other instrument of the same category which is issued at discount and redeemed at par. So we are only getting the hint that something that we are going to identify should be issued at discount and redeemed at par. So try and recall out of the 5 money market securities that you did, which of them are issued at discount and redeemed at par, and one of them would be the correct answer to this case. Of course, we'll get to that after reading the case. A company needs to buy machinery for which it issued equity. This turned out to be expensive as this issue involves flotation costs. The company, that was a hint here, flotation cost. The company is large and creditworthy and buys X instrument from other company, and this method has come up as a great help to it. Okay, so you want money to bear the flotation cost. You want money to bear the flotation cost, okay, for issuing equity. So which instrument are we talking about? And that instrument should be issued at discount and redeemed at par also. Yes, dear children, the QA box is really flooded with the answer, and that the answer is commercial paper. And of course, it's a money market instrument, and it's what is the purpose for the same? For meeting the flotation cost or working capital requirements. And the other money market instruments which are issued at discount and redeemed at par are treasury bills and certificate of deposit. So out of 5, there are 3 money market securities which are issued at discount and redeemed at par. I told you that there are 3. One is treasury bill, another is certificate of deposit, and yet another is commercial paper. Okay, so that's the right answer. Next case, ma'am. We are ready for the case. Yes, here we have another case study. Case study 4. Let's read the question first. Name the function being performed by the market in the above case. Now, function being performed by the market in the above case. If I do not read any part of the case or the next question, I may get confused whether it is a marketing question, because there are functions of marketing also, and there are functions of markets also, that is financial markets. But so we need to read every part of the question to be sure as to what is the right answer. Name the market segment other than capital market segment. Now this gives an idea that this is a financial market question, because in the paper we won't be knowing that which chapter's question it is. So this part, capital market segment, gives an idea that this is a financial market segment, financial markets chapter question. Name the market segment other than capital market segment in which unsecured and short-term debt instruments are traded. Also give any 3 points of difference between the two. So this part can be answered without reading the case also. You know कि capital market के साथ दूसरा कौन सा market होता है, that you will know. But still, to know the first part of answers, let's read the case. These days, the development of a country is also judged by its systems of transferring finance from the sector where it is in surplus to the sector where it is needed the most. To give strength to the economy, SEBI is undertaking measures to develop the capital market. In addition to this, there is another market in which, now this is the relevant part of the question. Isse pehle wala was irrelevant. While practicing case studies, we must learn to separate the relevant and irrelevant parts of the case. I continue, resume the reading. In addition to this, there is another market in which unsecured and short-term debt instruments are actively traded every day. These markets together help the savers and investors in directing the available funds into their most productive opportunity. So which function is being performed here? Yes, yeah, you are right, students. You are giving the correct answer. It's allocative function, that is mobilization of funds and channelizing them into most productive uses. And capital market के साथ दूसरी market कौन सी होती है? We had discussed earlier. That's money market. Any more cases, ma'am?
Yes, ma'am. Let's test our students because I'm enjoying the answer. So one more case study, please.
Okay, fine, ma'am. Thank you so much. We are ready for the show. Yeah. Another case studies. Yeah, in context of the above case, identify the instrument that Shubh Bank will use to meet its short-term requirement of funds. So short-term requirement of funds gives an idea, gives a hint that we are talking about a money market security only. Then state any 3 features of the instrument which is identified in part A. Remember, students, in this case, it's very important for you to identify the correct instrument of short-term finance. In case by chance you may make a mistake in the first part, your second part will be outrightly considered as wrong, because teachers आप उसी instrument के लिखोगे ना जो instrument आप identify कर रहे हो. So it's really very important to identify the correct instrument. Let's read the case. During Navratras, Varun finalizes a deal to buy a new house. So he visits a nearby branch of Shubh Bank to withdraw rupees 10 lakhs from his account in order to pay the token money to the seller. In the bank, he observes that a large number of customers are present to make cash withdrawals, probably because it is an auspicious time to make purchases. After some time, he overhears one of the bank staff members telling his colleague that today Shubh Bank is likely to fall short of cash, and to make up for the deficit and maintain its cash reserve ratio, it will have to approach another bank. Dear students, in this particular case, beginning from during Navratras till telling his colleague that is all irrelevant. The only and only hint to the answer lies in the last statement, that is today Shubh Bank is likely to fall short of cash and make up for the deficit and maintain its CRR. It will have to approach another bank. So which instrument are we going to talk about? The answer is already there. So many answers and almost every answer is correct. That's call money, and features of call money we have already discussed. Nameet ma'am has explained very, very well. So let's move ahead now. Thank you so much, Nameet ma'am. Over to you for further topics.
Thank you, Kavita ma'am. So let's move on to the topic, capital market. As we discussed, there are 2 types of financial markets. Money market, we have already discussed, and the capital market now, which we are going to discuss, which is further divided into 2 types, primary market and secondary market. So what exactly is capital market? Now, in money market, we have discussed that it deals in short-term instruments whose maturity period is up to 1 year. But in capital market, it refers to those long-term funds or long-term securities, which includes both debt, that is your debentures, loan, and equity, which means your equity shares, whose time period or whose maturity period ranges to long-term. They are also known as long-term finance, and there is no such maturity period defined over here. So they are long-term securities. So the duration where we deal with such financial securities are actually medium-term to long-term securities. The participants, it is a major point of difference. Apart from the participants, what we have done in money markets, setting aside RBI, since SEBI is involved over here, individuals is one of the major participants of capital market. So one such is an important point of difference between money market and capital market, that generally individuals do not participate in money market, but in case of capital market, individuals are a major participant. The investment outlay or the amount of investment actually in case of money market is quite high, but in case of capital market, it is quite low. That is of a huge range. It can start from ₹1 and it can go up to crores. So the range is quite high, but the amount of investment is quite low. They are less liquid compared to money market. Why? Because it is also long-term security. So, and the money market is a short-term security. So they are self-liquidating. The money market instruments are self-liquidating. But in case of capital market, the liquidity varies. And due to this, they are less safer than the money market instruments. The chances of fraud are higher in case of this, because as you give more time, the chances of your money or the bankruptcy or the fraud actually goes high. And the return is higher if you keep your security for longer term. And if you keep your security for a shorter term, the return would be less. So now we'll be discussing the difference between, as we have already discussed in the points, but we'll put it in a table form, because one thing, students, whenever the difference comes, you should always write in tabular form with basis. Do make sure whenever there's a question asked on difference. So here we discussed the difference between capital market and money market. The basis is liquidity. We have discussed safety. Capital markets are less safer, and money markets are more safer. The return in capital markets is unpredictable, but in money markets, the return is fixed. The duration is longer in case of capital market, and in case of money market, it is up to 1 year only. The participants we have discussed, the major differences, individuals. And the investment outlay is low in case of capital market, but in case of money market, the investment outlay is quite high, as a huge amount is invested in it. So we go with one factual information which I wanted to share with you all. So it's not part of syllabus, but I just wanted to be a part of it, to be a part of financial literacy. This is a real story where a guy actually invested in Maruti Suzuki shares in July 2003. The price of Maruti Suzuki share at the time of July 2003 was 125 rupees. Now the value of Maruti Suzuki shares is 45 times. It has increased 45 times. That is 5,625 rupees. Suppose this guy would have invested in Maruti car. That would have been a depreciating asset. But he has invested in a share. That is it has given him an appreciation on the amount which he has invested. So students, we should learn that the funds should be invested wisely and also in appreciating assets. So this was a way of giving you the financial literacy. Let's move on to the content, please. The first type of capital market is primary market. It is also known as first-hand market or new issue market. I'll give you an example over here. I want to buy a car. I will go to the showroom and I'll purchase a brand new car. That is primary market. I sell this car to Kavita ma'am. Kavita ma'am, are you listening? So
just tell me, why would I buy a second-hand car from you? I'll buy a new one. You buy a second-hand car if you want to. I'm going to buy a new one only.
Okay, ma'am. I'll make it vice versa. Kavita ma'am goes to a car showroom and she buys a new car.
Thank you so much for the correction.
Primary market. And she sells that car to me. Now that she is an existing car holder, she is selling her car to me. I am a second car holder. Second holder. So that would be second-hand market, which is known as secondary market. So this is how you differentiate between primary market and secondary market. In primary market, you buy new shares, new securities. And in secondary market, you buy second-hand securities or already issued securities. So here we come with the definition of primary market, also known as new issues market, which deal in the new securities issued for the first time. We have 5 methods of flotation or issuing new financial securities, and we can easily put in an acronic form E-PUR. That is the acronym for the methods of flotation in the primary market. Well, I would not go the order wise of E-PUR because I need to explain the O first, that is offer through prospectus. Now, students, this concept you have already done in your class 11. Offer through prospectus means when the company is coming out with an issue, then it has to display a prospectus and advertisement so that the potential investors go through that advertisement and become interested in investing in such company and subscribe to the share capital of the company. So this is known as offer through prospectus or IPO, which is commonly known as IPO. The second is offer for sale. Here we are involving 2 parties. In offer through prospectus, the company was directly selling it to the general public. But here an intermediary is being involved, where the company does not want to go into that hassles of issuing shares because it actually requires a lot of documentation work and a lot of hassles and costs, in fact. It sells its shares to an intermediary, normally a broker, and then it is the task of the broker to in turn sell it to the general public. So that is why it is known as offer for sale, where an intermediary is involved. It is a 2-step procedure. I would like to share an example over here. It's the latest example. Burger King wants to have an IPO in India. We all know Burger King. So they have got a green signal on 24th January to have an IPO in India. It is offering in 2 ways. 1, fresh issue of equity shares of 400 crores to the public. Fresh issue of equity shares, that is offer through prospectus. And offer for sale of rupees 6 crores by QSR Asia. This is the second method, offer for sale, and the intermediary is QSR Asia. There's another very latest example. SBI is planning to sell its equity shares in SBI Life via offer for sale. They would be selling it to a broker, and then broker will in turn sell it to the general public. So this is offer for sale. So we have done 2 methods, offer through prospectus and offer for sale. Let's move on to the right issue. This is the right issue, meaning I would be explaining with an example. We all have seen Mahabharata during our lockdown period, or we know the technique of Mahabharata, where the king, when dies, his legacy is passed on to the elder son. The younger son does not get anything, but an elder son gets the legacy. Now, what is right issue and how I am relating to it? Suppose company has already issued certain amount of shares to its existing shareholders. Now company wants to issue fresh shares to the public. Before going to the public, the elder son, Bada Beta, has this preemptive right that he should be asked first when the company is going for a new issue, a further issue. This right is known as preemptive right, and it is the privilege given to the existing shareholders to subscribe to a new issue of shares whenever a company is coming out with a further issue of shares. But it is with certain terms and conditions. And children, I would like you to give you an example on this, and if possible, do quote it in your paper if the question comes on right issue. This is the latest example which has been done by Reliance Industries, and it is dated May 20, 2020, where Reliance has planned with a further issue of shares, and they first asked their existing shareholders at a ratio of 1:15. That is, the shareholders who are holding 15 equity shares would get 1 share also at a discounted price of 1,257 per share compared to the market price. So this is one example of right issue. So we have covered 3. Fourth is the private placement. Now, what is private? Private means when the shares are issued privately, a closed thing is done. It is not gone. We are not going public. So the allotment of securities is done by the company to few privately held people or to few selected investors. It might be brokers, it might be some insurance companies, it can be anyone. So it is in the case of closely held companies where the company do not go to the public and issue shares. And the fifth one and the most easiest one, E-IPO. What does E in all these sectors mean? Electronic, we know that. So this is electronic IPO system where the company issues shares or it comes out with a new issue electronically. How it comes out electronically? It has to tie up with the stock exchange where it is registered, and then the shares are issued through online, and even the applications are received online and money is received online. Everything is done online in this case, E-IPO. So we have done 5 types of flotation techniques, that is E-Poor. So Kavita ma'am, it's again your time to assess the students.
Thank you so much, Namit ma'am. Now, before moving on to the next question, I just went through the QA box and I am going to give special appreciation. I have a word of appreciation for 6 students specially. That is Nandini Bansal, Arpit, Shruti, Yash Gupta, Nishant and Aryan Gupta. These 6 students have answered all the questions as of now, almost all the questions very correctly in QA box. So very great students, you are doing a wonderful job and preparing yourselves very well for the exams. And one more point here, some students are answering as anonymous attendees. Beta, your parents must have kept your names with so many arman. Kitne armanon ke saath kitna acha naam aapka rakha hoga. Every child has a unique name. Please log in with your name only and answer with your name only, not as anonymous attendees. Only then we can appreciate your efforts. Okay, let's now move ahead with the next question. Yes, Namit ma'am, please, can we have it on the screen, please? Yeah. OGQ4, get ready, students, to get appreciation. Yeah, we have the question. Falcon Limited has sold 1 lakh equity shares of ₹10 each at ₹30 per share to an investment bank, which has offered such shares to public at ₹40 per share. Identify the method of rotation. Let me see. Yeah, Namit ma'am is generous enough to give us options. Offer for sale, rights issue, E-IPOs, and private placement. Come on, students, give answer. You will be acknowledged and appreciated in this particular webinar. Yes, come on. From 250 to it has reached up to 280. Very good, very good. The number is still rising. Yes, the answer to this question is offer for sale, because Falcon Limited has issued the equity shares to investment bank. Investment bank is an intermediary which is further offering to public at a higher price. Right. Well, let's move on to the next question. Next question is match the following type of question. So here you have to identify the method of rotation in highlighted in each statement. The very first one. Okay, we have all together and we need to match it correctly. So I am going to ask you one by one. See, students, how you have to answer. I'll ask one and give you 5 seconds to answer. First one, issue a prospectus to invite public to apply for shares. Yes. Yes, come on. Yes, you are right. That is, it is initial public offer, or other name for the same is offer through prospectus. Dear students, please do not raise your hands because we cannot unmute you, and you have to give your answers only in QA box. So raising your hands will not serve the purpose here. That's not a real classroom, it's a live classroom. So in live classroom, you have to answer through chat only. Next we have use online system of stock exchange. Well, that's so easy. Everybody has answered till now. That is E-IPOs. Next one. First ask existing shareholders to apply for new shares. That is a compulsory requirement under Companies Act. Yeah, that's right, ma'am. Just now explained it's rights issue. Here I would like to add on to what Namit ma'am explained, that the existing shareholders are being offered the new shares, the new equity shares, but the existing shareholders have a right whether to accept the offer or reject the offer, or accept the offer in part, or even they have a right to assign that particular offer to a third party. Okay, so these options existing shareholders do have in context of rights issue. Then they have offered the entire new issue to life insurance company. Yes, I can find answers. It reached from 380 to 405 number. Yeah, it's the private placement because one organization is being offered the entire lot of securities. Then shares are sold to public through an intermediary. Yes, of course, sare ho gaye, so this is the only one left, and the only answer left is offer for sale, and that's correct too. So we have the entire answer together on the screen here. You can again cross-check their students. Let's move ahead with the next question now. Yes, now here we have a case study 6. Again, we'll be reading from the questions part first. In the above case, identify the various methods of flotation highlighted. So, dear students, here you have to identify various methods. It's not clear whether you have to identify 2, 3, 4, or 5 methods. It will depend upon the marks of the question, and it will depend upon what content is there in the question. So, had it been identify the method of flotation, S nahi hota, so you would have to identify only one. But since it is identify the various methods, so it's certainly more than 2 or more than 2. Then, in which type of capital market trading of only existing shares is done? So this part can be answered without reading the case also. Jahan existing shares are being traded. Then, in which type of capital market only buying of securities is possible, as securities cannot be sold here? Again, this part can be answered without going through the case study. But still, first we'll read the case and then we'll answer. Especially, we are trying to look for the first part of the answer. Now, while reading the case, this time I am not going to modulate my voice to give you hints. I'll be reading it with the same expressions throughout the case. You have to make it a point to identify what is the relevant content of the case. Ramesh, the CEO of a company, thinks of going with the most popular method of raising funds used by the public companies. He discussed this option with his immediate subordinates. After discussion, he realizes that since his company is a private company, he should think of some other option. Then they think of issuing the securities through intermediaries like issuing houses or stockbrokers. When his nephew comes to know about his decision, he decides to suggest his uncle another way. He advises him to involve institutional investors, which will help him raise funds more quickly and reduce many mandatory and non-mandatory expenses. After a lot of discussion, the option suggested by his nephew is chosen as final. So nephews are smart enough to give advices to their uncles, and uncles do accept their advices also because they are worthy. Yes, so children, our youngsters are very smart today. So are smart our adult children who are continuously answering the questions. So we have to identify various methods of flotation from the above case. Can we have the next slide, ma'am, please? Yes. Now, these are the relevant lines that are going to give you a hint about the method of flotation or method of issuing securities in the primary market. The most popular method of raising funds used by public company, and you all know that's offered through prospectus, or we can say initial public offer. Then we have issuing the securities through intermediaries like issuing houses or stockbrokers. Yes, dear children, that's offer for sale. And then we have involved institutional investors so that no expenses are there and funds are raised quickly. That's private placement. That's very right, dear children. Many of you have answered it correctly. That's very nice. Second part of the question now. Previous slide, ma'am, please. Okay. Type of capital market where trading only of existing securities is done. So existing means second-hand securities, that's secondary market or stock market. And the type of capital market where only buying takes place. Only buying takes place in primary market, because secondary involves buying and selling both, but primary involves only buying. अब आप कहोगे companies sell तो करती हैं? No, companies don't sell. Companies issue the securities. So last part of the answer is primary market. Now the students can cross-check their answer from the next slide. Yes, that's right. Let's move ahead. So we have another case here, another case for this particular phase. Then Namit ma'am will again take over for the further topics. In which market were the debentures issued? So you know quite well that in which market debentures are issued. Do you think issue of debentures was a wise choice? Justify your answer. So this part of the question, second part, here a very important point, dear children, please focus your attention. Do you think issue of debentures was a wise choice? This part of the question can be answered with the help of knowledge from financial management chapter. So this particular case study gives you a hint that there are total unit-wise weightage, and a question can be framed in CBSE exam which has a part from one particular chapter of the unit and another part from another particular chapter of the unit. So in this case, we have a question from financial management plus financial markets. So unit-wise question is there. Then we have what could be the other sources of finance available to Talco Limited apart from debentures. So that's very easy to answer. Other sources of finance, you all know, equity, preference, and retained earnings. That's very clear. Third part is easily answerable. So you have to answer 1 and 2 in your QA box. Talco Limited is launching a new range of snacks which are 100% fat free. वो students जिन्हें पता नहीं होता कि पहले questions पढ़ने चाहिए, and if they start reading from here, they will think that it is a marketing question. They'll start thinking about marketing. Keeping in mind the health conscious segment of the market, company produce these cholesterol free snacks. So that gives a marketing concept idea. Please focus on the questions. For financing the production of snacks, company issued 10% debentures. Company was already burdened with fixed cost of salaries, rent, and 8% debentures interest. Now, the very first question. Namit ma'am, please don't change the slide. The very first question. In which market were the debentures issued? The new debentures or new shares are being issued in one market. See, I can find that some students are answering it as capital markets. Dear children, in such cases, you should answer it very precisely, specifically. If you want to write capital market, no issue. But along with that, must write primary market. Because new securities, be they share or debentures, are issued in primary market. So you must write it as primary market. Capital market bhi likh do, koi dikkat nahi hai, be on safer side. But primary market is really very important. You have to be specific in such answers. Then, do you think issue of debentures was a wise choice? No, it wasn't a wise choice because the company is already burdened with fixed cost of salaries and rent. Here, keeping in mind this is fixed operating cost. Fixed operating cost is already high. So financing risk should not be borne. Financing cost should not be borne. Rather, financing cost we already have 8%. So the company should not bear more of financing cost. So issue of debentures in this case is not a wise choice. Now you can, Namit ma'am, please change the slide so that students can cross-check the answer. Yes, that's the right answer. Let's move ahead. Now over to you, Namit ma'am, for the next topic.